Alright, welcome everybody. This is Nick with O3 Drop. So today I wanted to do a video for a couple of different things. With set 4 coming out literally in a day or so, I wanted to go ahead and post a video about the first deck that I'll probably be trying out whenever I get my hands on the cards tomorrow night. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about this deck. I know there was a, what was it, blue and yellow, I think, version of Future Trunks out there, and honestly, I really like that list. I think with the Flying Nimbus, given what this meta could be, is really good. However, I did want to try out the blue-red version first. Now, keep in mind, this is literally my first draft of this deck, so it'll probably go through quite a few changes, and if you guys want, I will keep you updated on the changes as I go through. But I will kind of explain to you how I plan to deal with certain things. So, for example, the first thing that I would deal with is obviously the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. There is a Super Saiyan 3 list that's out there that basically tries to kill you on, what, turn 2 I believe it is, with the GT list. So with that, we have the free my blockers, so we have something there to block, because normally I don't think that list actually runs a ton of removal. So we do have the free blockers there. Also, with Future Trunks, they have to take you down from 8 life to 0. I think one thing that's going to happen is a lot of people will start playing the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And so a lot of times they're going to basically just be used to taking people down from 4 or 6 life to 0 rather than having to take them from 8 to 0. So that could work in your favor. Now the other thing is, honestly, in this matchup, you probably want to go second. I haven't tested it enough to know that, if you have the option, you pick second. But just looking at it on paper, if my opponent goes first, sure, they get the extra energies, but this Trunks deck doesn't really require more than 2 or 3 energies, honestly. And the amount of stuff that this Trunks deck can do with 1 energy is unbelievable. I mean, without this set even being out yet, I was able to play 3 Kabbas on turn 1. So the reason against SS3 you may just want to go second is because if you hit them in the face first, especially if you end up getting off of Trunks with a Champa, that limits their options. They can no longer Kabba you and then flute and then Kabba you again. And I think that's one thing that makes that deck really strong. And so, they also can't Shugesh the 3-drop Goku into play to be able to evolve him later on. So I think if you're able to attack with this deck first, it might actually give you an advantage. Again, I need to test it. I haven't tested it yet, so that's something that I'll be doing and probably updating you guys on later on. But that is my opinion on how that could work out. Now, one other thing that I will say is, gosh, I love having this new Trunks. The critical Trunks is just, man, I'm so hyped to have this in the deck. Now, as far as what the side deck I have built over here, this isn't an actual side deck that I would take to an event. This is just some ideas that I have that I may want in my side deck at some point if I do run this at an event. And so let me go ahead and kind of explain to you what's in here and why. So we do have the Mafubas. This is mainly for the GT decks, just because if you Mafuba when they start doing their stupid stuff, you can possibly just derail their whole plan from the start, and obviously that would be a good thing. I do have the Gotens in here. Now, as of right now, I actually don't have any Mass Saiyans in the main board, which, the more I look at it, maybe that's a problem. So maybe I might find room to throw some of those in later on. Maybe I cut 1 6-drop Gohan and 1 3-drop Gohan for that. I'm not 100% sure. But that is, something else. So that would be if you feel like you need some board clear early. Obviously, we have my new Boo, and she's going to stop any Shugesh decks for us. Then finally, we have Haru Haru. So in this format, one thing that really concerns me is with the lack of Bloodlust decks, I think that there's a strong possibility that anything with Cell Chain could be very strong. Obviously, my first choices for this type of deck would be the Android leader or the Cell leader. But yeah, I think without Bloodlust in the format, Cell is going to have the potential to make a huge comeback and really just ruin a lot of people's day. I think people have forgotten how strong that deck actually can be, especially with the super, the Android 16 super combo. So the Haru Haru is actually in here for that type of matchup, because obviously it'll be a green leader. Well, with the exception of Mira, maybe. And so because of that, the Haru Haru lets you get off an extra attacker and untap your energies. Also, it's crit, which is always a good thing. So yeah, that's one thing, just to kind of let you play multiple threats down if you get to that stage. I'm not sure how good the other yellow leaders are in this set, so honestly, I would just do Haru Haru if you know for a fact someone at your locals is playing Cell Chain, or, Androids or Cell, something like that. But yeah, so right now, the only thing stopping Cell Chain is the possibility of it dying before it gets a chance to use the Cell Chain. Because honestly, if they use Cell Chain at 4 or 5 life, they're probably just going to win against almost anything in the format, because especially if they're at 4, because then they're getting rid of your whole hand more than likely, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But again, the big thing right now is them living long enough to be able to do that, and a lot of people are forgetting about the green negate, because the green negate actually negates the attack, plus it actually kills a 1-drop, so it'll kill the Kaba, it'll kill the Trunks that they're trying to attack with, and with that negate, like, it stops them from fluting it back to their hand. And so I think that negate could actually make Cell Chain very viable in this format. And so that is really one thing that I would either consider playing or look out for, because that could be something that dominates. Now, with this deck, you might notice I don't have the combo Gokus in here anymore. And there's a reason for that. Between Flute and how easily you can awaken now, I just don't think you really need the extra draw power anymore. The other thing is I want to keep as many 5k combos in the deck as possible, because you may end up tapped out having to combo, and if that happens, you want to be able to combo with everything possible. And so I purposely tried to make sure that I didn't have, as many 10k combos as I did before, which obviously worked out pretty well, because right now I have, 7? Which is also part of the reason why, if you did put in Mass Saiyan, I'd probably take out at least one of the Gohans, is to help limit the number of 10k combos you have. I do like this Trunks, and the main reason is because you can go into your warp and grab anything that you need at the time. Do you need a combo Trunks to untap an energy? Do you need a Kaba or this Trunks to try to go for game? Do you need a Champa to double strike for game? Do you need a hit? Do you need a Mai? Do you need a Piccolo? Like, any kind of battle card you need, you can go to your warp and get, and it's only 2 energy, so you can literally do this on turn 2. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this deck. One other thing that I really wanted to talk about too, especially because I know with set 4 coming out, we're going to have new players and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about comboing, and when you should combo and when you shouldn't. So one mistake that I see new players make a lot is they always over combo. Like, I've literally seen people, they'll swing single strike while I'm at 8 life, and they'll combo 2 or 3 cards. And when I see this, it just makes me like literally facepalm, because there's no reason for that. Realistically, if you're hitting me for 1 damage, non-critical, when I'm at 8, there's a 99.9% chance that I'm going to take that damage. And if I don't take that damage, it's because I'm having a seizure and can't take that damage. And so one of the big steps to getting better at this game is knowing when to combo and when to not combo. And one of the best things that I try to tell people is, whenever you're deciding whether or not you should combo, the first thing you should ask yourself is, do I have a reason to combo? Because if you don't have a reason to combo, then you probably don't need to combo. So if you're swinging at your opponent and you're saying, okay, they're at 8 life, I'm swinging for single strike non-critical, do I have a reason to combo? No. If your reason to combo is just, oh, well, I want them down at 7 life, then you should probably just rethink your reasoning. That doesn't make any sense. They're probably not going to block it. You want to make sure that you have a solid reason for comboing. Now, mid to late game, you can actually combo just to make your opponent discard. So for example, if you're both at 6 cards in hand, right? You swing with your 15k leader into their 15k leader. Automatically, if you don't combo, they have to discard at least one card to stop this attack. So they're automatically going from 6 down to 5. Now, because they're at 15k, I assume they're at 4 life or less. So that means there's a good chance they probably don't want to take this attack. So if that's the case, all you have to do then is maybe combo up to 25. Preferably use a super combo so you're also not going down in cards. But, you know, worst case scenario, combo to 25. This guarantees that they drop at least 2 cards. And, you know, maybe they just super combo and drop something else, which is fine because then they're out of super combo. Otherwise, they have to tap 1 to combo the 10k plus another 5k. Or they even have to get rid of 3 5ks. And if that's the case, you just got rid of 3 cards from their hand. Now, on the other hand, if you do combo up to 25, maybe they just take the damage and they end up getting an extra card in their hand. So what? At this point, they're going to be down at either 2 or 3 life. And the number of things in this format now that have double and triple strike, like they're in range to die. So keep in mind, you can use comboing to control your opponent. You can control their hand with combos. That's not something that I think a lot of people realize, because every single time your opponent combos, or every single time you combo, it may not be to actually get the damage to go through. You could just be controlling your opponent. Again, that's one thing that I see a lot of new players mess up on. And so just make sure, like, from now on, when you're thinking about comboing, stop and ask yourself, why? Are they at 5 life and you're hitting with double strike and you want them down at 3 life? That's a pretty valid reason. Maybe you don't over combo, but, you know, maybe throw 5 or 10k on there to make sure they go down to 3 life. You know, maybe they're at 3 and you're swinging for game. Same thing, like, okay, well, go ahead and combo. But yeah, just don't, like, you know, if they're at 6 life and you're swinging single strike non-crit, don't combo. And also, as far as crit goes, even if you swing crit, don't combo unless you have a reason. Because for you, if you swing with a critical attacker and your attack is the same as their leader, they're discarding 1 card. At that point, it becomes a choice. Do you want to discard 1 from your hand, or do you want to discard 1 from your life? And that's the choice they make. So at that point, like, if you're swinging with critical, and same thing, if you're getting swung at with critical, you have to decide, okay, so I can block this with 1 card from my hand. Do I want to lose this card from my hand, or would I rather keep it and lose a card from my life? That's the decision you make. So unless your opponent is swinging double strike critical, a lot of times, I mean, you know, I would just let the life go. Also, depending on how much life you're at. But yeah, so if you're at 6 or 8 life though, and your opponent is swinging double strike critical, don't use 3 or 4 cards to block that, because then, you know, you're down extra cards. So everything in this game is a numbers game, and you always want to try to get the numbers to be on your side so you have the advantage. That's honestly why I like this hit so much, is because I can play it down, remove 2 cards from their hand, and try to go for game. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions about this, or maybe want me to actually do a video just about that, let me know down in the comments. Of course, if you're watching this far, let me know down in the comments. I appreciate it. So the last thing that I'm going to go ahead and talk about is I do now have just over 200 subscribers. I just want to say thank you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. Like, if it wasn't for y'all, I probably would have stopped doing this a while ago. I know that there has been a bit of a content drought on my channel lately, and I do apologize for that. However, what I'm going to do is, because the new set is releasing tomorrow night / Friday morning, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll probably post a separate video for that Friday. And I think I'm going to give away some of the jumbo leaders for the new set. Is that something you guys would be interested in? It'll probably either be a jumbo leader, or maybe I could do a dash pack promo or 2. So yeah, let me know. If you're still watching, let me know down in the comments. Would you rather have a new jumbo leader from the set, or would you rather maybe have a dash pack promo? Let me know what you guys want, and there will be some kind of giveaway Friday. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great week.